Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. We're going to be discussing narcissistic surviving a narcissistic divorce. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to try to make it a 10-minute video. I hope that you guys are looking at the clock because I have a problem with going long. So I hope I don't go too long. But I wanted to say that I'm going through my process of a divorce right now from a narcissistic husband, and I want to first let you know that it is a lot of things that you have to prepare yourself for when you're going through it, but you don't think about these things. So before you decide to leave, and I literally have heard this before I left. I mean, I literally heard what I'm about to tell you before I left. But that's why I wanted to do a video saying, okay, I've said it before to people, but I need to say it on YouTube because I want to make sure people really understand. This person does not care about you. That is the best way to describe a narcissist, is that they will say, I love you, and they believe it. They believe that them paying the bills for you to live in their house, giving you a car to drive, buying you rings and doing things, love bombing things, basically. And he would tell me, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, what I got you, so your friends will be jealous. Like, he literally was setting the scene. And I'm thinking, oh, well, I'll put it on Instagram because I want to make him feel good. It wasn't about my friends trying to make them jealous. It was like, I'm putting the love bomb things on Instagram and on Facebook to make him feel good. But I'd look at his Instagram and Facebook and there'd be nothing about me. I would go to his job and there was no pictures of me anywhere. In fact, one of his employees, one of his engineers that worked for him said, I didn't even know he was married. And she was serious. She was like, I didn't even know he was married. And I kind of took it as, oh, wow. And I mentioned it to him. He said, oh, she's just being catty or being drama filled. And I'm thinking, why? How is it that you don't have a picture of me? We don't talk about, like, I talk about him all the time. But that was another thing, because if he was able to cheat at work or keep people in the dark about his personal life at work, that would work better for him so that we could have a separate life. But back to what I was trying to say. So literally, he does not care. That is the true meaning of a narcissist. They don't care how you're going to be perceived. They don't care if their family goes after you, their children go after you, their friends believe things that are not true about you. They don't care. Okay, so that's the hardest part of leaving. You have to understand they believe that because of whatever reasons they're going to give you, that they do love you. But the truth is in the action. And if they're acting indifferent, they don't care. If they're yelling and screaming at you, they don't care. You would not. And the funny thing is, we had a little poodle that was so cute. And I would get mad at the poodle for like pooping in the house. And he would never scream at the poodle. He would never get it. He said, why would you do that? It's an innocent little animal. And I would think he yells and screams at me, probably not 3 months go by where he does not have a rage episode. So understand, if he's yelling and screaming at you, if he is telling people things that are not true or hiding your relationship, if he's cheating on you and not even admitting or coming clean with it, which, number one, cheating is wrong all the way around. But I do believe that some one thing could happen and you could forgive and you could get back together with counseling, with therapy. I do believe that some situations can happen. But first off, he's got to admit, he's got to, you can't give forgiveness with no confession. You just can't do that. So you've got to understand, he does not care that he cheats on you. He does not care that he is yelling at you. He doesn't care that he's hiding your relationship or good things about you from people, and he will hide the money. Like, that's another thing. Please remember this. He does not care about you financially, because to him, if you're going to leave him, you're as good as dead. You're like his worst enemy because you left him, or you could leave him. And if you have financial means to leave him, he really can't handle it. He can't handle it. So if you have a job that makes more money, he's going to try to make more money. I found out that my husband actually had 2 jobs. I knew he had a contracting job, but I didn't realize he was making $275,000 until I added up how much money there was in the W-2 forms, which I never could see because he never let me see the taxes. He never let me see the bank account. He never let me see the credit card bills. None of that. So when I left him, another thing you got to remember, when you're ready to leave, get all documentation that you can get. Like we had a suitcase thing, it was like a organizer that he would keep all of the paperwork in. And I had it right under my nose, like everything from the W-2s to court papers to titles to everything, the deed for our house, everything was in there. And I was there when we signed the deed for the house. I was there when he bought the cars because, I would pick out, I like that car. And so I knew that, we had those things. I never had my name on the car. Didn't have to have my name on the house, but I did have to sign the deed as far as, the loan goes. I had to sign for that. But other documentation, like the bank statements, like I had access, I could have gotten to the bank statements all that time. And I noticed that he was moving like I think he was moving like 100,000. I think he could move 90,000 one time. He moved another. And I'm like, looking back, I saw it and I thought, wow, we got a lot of savings. We don't have anything because he was moving that money to an Ally account online. So that way I couldn't get to it. So that way, he would got a severance of, I think it was like $190,000 severance. And that was more money that he put away that I couldn't get to. And I never tried to get to it. That was the whole thing. I never even tried. So I just was going to, I believed I was not going to get divorced no matter what happened. I'm staying married. I remember one time his sister had told me he was cheating. And I said to him, it doesn't matter if you're cheating because I'm not going to leave you anyway. And he said, she's crazy and you're being insecure. Like, don't listen to her. And I'm like going, well, why would she tell me that? And he's like, well, because she's trying to get to you and she's getting to you. That's what she's trying to do. And you're being insecure. So once again, it's my problem. So he doesn't care about any of that, but the documentation was all there. I also found out that he was married when I met him, which that was a complete shock, but the documentation was right there. His divorce was not finalized until right before we got married from his first wife. I was like, and he had another relationship with someone else and married her during the time he was married to his first wife. I was like, wow. I got the documentation. I started going through all those papers. I didn't look at it for 20-something years because I just trusted my husband was telling the truth. And the truth is, I really kind of always knew he was lying about a lot of stuff, but I just kept thinking to myself, I'm going to just stay in this marriage. And I didn't really want to know too much because the more I knew, the more it put me in a situation where I had to deal with it. So remember, get as much documentation as you can. If you can go to the bank and tell the bank, I just want to get all the statements that you, print out as all the transactions, all the statements you can get for the whole year before you leave him. So that way you can show the pattern of, the finances, regardless if he's spending money too much or like my husband would spend money on things I would have no clue what he's spending money on because I never got the bank statements. If you have access to the email, like there were times where he would leave the email address open on his computer and I would find women sending him information and he'd be upset at me because I would go through his email and I'm like, I just looked up and I see there's a woman here that you're sending an email to. Why are you checking my email stuff? I'm like, he never would apologize and say I did something wrong. But if you have that documentation, take a picture of it, save it, get yourself a file of everything. Document everything. Paycheck stubs, W-2s, any emails to other women. Not that the court cares. The court really doesn't care about him having affairs. They don't care about him taking money and putting it in other accounts. They don't really care about that. But it does show the fact that there was some deception going on, which can sometimes help a little bit in your case. So also make sure you have documentation of if you have a house, you have properties. He had properties that I didn't even know about. Even if it's properties that were part of his family inheritance, just make sure you document all of that stuff. Make sure you take pictures of it on your phone and then put it in a separate file so that way you can easily send it over to the attorney in a file. And emails are so important. Text messages. If he sent you text messages admitting to things, or you had an argument about something on a text message and he's abusive, if you can do a video of him screaming and hollering, and my husband would get to the point where, I know you're videotaping me. Yeah, because it's the only way I can actually talk to you, because you're screaming and hollering. But if I turn the video camera on, you'll kind of tone down your screaming and hollering. So that's why I would videotape him. But anything you can get to just have your story more aligned, because once he gets in front of a lawyer and once he gets in front of the judge, you are his worst enemy. Like, he is at war with you, and he's going to do everything to tear you down, from accusing you of things you've never done, making up lies, falsifying documents. Like, it's amazing the lengths of someone who's been with you for 25 years. You would think he would not want to, I'm talking about my situation with my husband, he would not want to do something to put you at risk, like, give you like what you deserve after being married for 25 years. Like, of course he's going to want to give you some kind of finances. No, he doesn't want to give you anything. And that is a difficult thing to swallow, but you have to, I'm going to say it again. And I people said it to me. I didn't listen. He does not care about you. He doesn't care if you're dead or alive. In fact, he actually would like it if you were dead. That's a hard thing to accept, that he would prefer you to be dead. And that's why I have an alarm system at my house. That's why I had a temporary restraining order in place. That's why, I never really wanted to believe in firearms and things like that. But like, when you realize that that person literally would rather see you dead, you have to protect yourself and think, I'm alone now. I'm living alone. I have a house by myself, and I need to protect myself from this person, because he literally could get very dangerous. So the reason why I want to make this video is to tell people, make your plan, get your documentation, prepare yourself for a fight. Find an attorney who is like specializing in narcissistic abuse. Find an attorney who literally will fight for you. Not an attorney. I would suggest not get a firm. I'll tell you more about law firms, but I had a really hard time with a law firm. So I would suggest getting an attorney who can be more personal with you. But it has to be an attorney who understands that you cannot co-parent with this person. Even though you may have to, according to the courts, you have to explain this to your attorney. Attorney should actually explain it to you, that this person does not care about you. They're not going to care if you are at the birthday party, or if you are going to have them for your Mother's Day or birthday or anything like that. They don't care about you. And understand, your attorney is supposed to fight for you, because you can't do this by yourself. And that is where I am right now, looking for another attorney. This will be attorney number 3, because I didn't pay attention when they told me this before, and I, got into a lot of health issues. What my next video is going to be about is the health issues and the stress that this can cause over time. So that's my video. Remember what I told you. They do not care about you. They do not care about you. So make your plan it out properly. Save money, get an attorney, get documentation, and hopefully you'll be able to survive it. But it is difficult to survive. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe, and let other people know. Dr. Romney's book, this has been my lifesaver. Like, literally, this has been my personal Bible on narcissism. It's a phenomenal book. And if you need to see her on YouTube, this is her, Dr. Romney. She's got tons of videos And please like, share, and subscribe with her. Thank you so much. Have a great day.